Celebrate! You certainly got in the mood.
It's a celebration. I'll never be able to do it like that.
Welcome, everyone, to the 100th episode of Off the Cuff. I am Adam Banks, and this is a celebration. Nellie is here with me in the studio, just like she was 100 episodes ago. Nellie, happy 100 episode and happy 2-year anniversary.
Same to you, Adam. I'm so happy to be here.
You know, I'm so happy to have you here. You know what? I love this song. I thought it was fitting.
It is.
Yeah, so
I love it too.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this down a little bit right here and let it play. But happy 100.
I know, it's crazy.
I know, it really is, Nellie. It really is. And, you know, in honor of the 100th episode, Nellie, I started doing a little research and I started crunching some numbers and looking at episodes and looking up our past episodes and who we've had on and all the success of the podcast. And since this has been our 100 episodes, I have a list of every single person that was on Off the Cuff. Every single person. And what I'm going to do is I am going to... Okay, I'm going to have to turn this off because it's kind of getting on my nerves. But I'm going to have to name you every person that's been on Off the Cuff. Just really quick, give a shout out to everybody because everybody on this list has made Off the Cuff what it is. Okay, so there's been 100 episodes. I have been in all 100, of course. The second person who has been in most episodes of this podcast is, of course... You, Nellie. You have been in 63 episodes.
Wow.
63. Josh Bryant, who does most of our NBA podcasts and talks about the NBA sports, has been in 11. Chad Rainwater has been in 8. He does most of our college podcasts. Sam Whitehead, who is just on the show for crazy, spontaneous podcasts, has done 5. Zach Kahn has done 3 in person. Jordan Canasser, Haley Kelly has done 1. Scott Clark, Lamar Williams, and Carla Murphy has done 1 as well.
Wow.
So guest callers. These are people who have called in and has been guest over the phone. Ryan Mullins, who's done most of our sports podcasts, have done 4. Zach Kahn has called in as a guest caller twice. Harrison Sims and Taylor Lansdale. And cameos, these are just people who have just been randomly put in the show at random. They weren't supposed to be in the show, but they kind of popped up. Jill Sutherland. Do you remember the episode where she called and she told us the story about the guy running into her house?
Yes.
What was that story?
Oh, man.
There was a car ran off the road.
Yeah, and they...
To dodge something happened and it knocked the power lines out, and so she called during the show, and we picked it up during the show, and she was on the air, and she said that her power was out. She needed to come shower. That was crazy. That was nuts. But so that was a cameo. Jack Whitehead, Ty Krebs, they were cameos in the show. Special guest, Brad Calipari, the son of Coach John Calipari of the UK men's basketball team, came on the show. That was a big moment for Off the Cuff. That gave Off the Cuff some credibility. That was a big moment in our, of all the 100 episodes, I look back at that moment, that was a pretty big one. Tyler Eulis's dad came on the show. That was a big one for the show because that kind of showed parents, that kind of reached out to an older audience, because my focus for that episode was to be, have you ever wondered what it was like if you have a son that plays basketball, what it's like to be a parent of a UK player? What's it like to be a parent of a player? So that was a big one. Buzz Baker.
That was one of my favorites.
Yeah,
that was my favorite.
Yeah, you was a part of that one. Ryan Lemon, the co-host of Kentucky Sports Radio, I got to tell you a story about that. I met him in person last night at the UK-Georgia game. I met him in person. I saw him, went up to him, shook his hand. I yelled at him. He came over to me, and he didn't know me from Adam. But as soon as I started speaking, I think he recognized my voice, and I was like, "Hey, I was the guy who interviewed you on my podcast." He goes, "Oh yeah, Adam." He was a nice guy. He said, "Anytime you want to do the show, yeah, he's game." So that was one. Slim from MTV. Do you remember Slim? Do you remember interviewing him? That was the first interview that we ever did. That was the first one we ever did.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then there's been some others. Richie Rich, Pat Wayne, Najee Griffin, Kevin Jamal Woods from the Little Rascals.
Mm-hmm.
He was on there. Patrick Toe's the quarterback of the UK football team. So we've had some pretty incredible guests.
Mm-hmm.
Some pretty incredible guests. And that's just been amazing. Just looking back on that, of all the people that's been involved. My goal when I started this was to have my friends involved in this podcast. And looking at this list, I feel like I've done a good job putting that together. And looking at this list and looking at the people that we've had, I think that we've gained some credibility.
Right.
Don't you?
Yes.
You know, and we are on all kinds of outlets now, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. You can find Off the Cuff in almost any place. You can Google Off the Cuff and find us almost anywhere. But I also put together a little something else, Nellie. You know, you've been on 60-some episodes.
Oh, Lord.
And there's been times when we kind of get carried away.
Nellie,
Here we go.
Hey, what's up? How's it going? First broadcast is
I know,
exciting.
it's pretty cool.
I mean, I feel like
I'm
we're gonna
honored to be
a part of
here.
Oh no, that was me and you.
Oh, my
That was me and you because we were actually doing the motions. We were doing the motions.
Wait a minute, was it TMI? TMI.
Too much information. Number two, my buddy Wade, he used to say, "Let me tell you how to live puss." Woo! Here we go, everybody, and that's how we do things here. It's called Make Nellie Peek. Make Nellie Peek. Make Nellie Peek. Make Nellie.
Yeah, I think they can pull it off.
Yeah. What my arms are? What my arms? I swear, my eat this lady a diaper. Hey, this lady to give her a diaper. Picture all over her arm.
Sounds like so much more like my mom.
I ain't dealing with this shit. I'm too hard. What'd you do? He said,
Ain't about pussy.
we sang.
That's what you say.
Yeah, I said make like a noise with him. You're trying to talk, you'll be like. You're feeling with your mouth like that. I can't look at you. You notice I never make eye contact when you do it because I just don't like it.
So that was a few of the things that we did together.
Mm,
And just kind of losing it.
kinda.
Yeah. Good times, Nelly. But so much has been happening. So much has been. Sorry to scare you.
Well, I
didn't
said
mean
to
that.
drink water, ladies and gentlemen,
And
yeah, he about choked me to
Nelly,
death.
it almost choked her. So much has been happening, Nelly. I had to write it down. So much has been happening. We had the Super Bowl.
Right.
What'd you think of it? You
Well,
watched it, right?
I thought it was kind of a disappointment.
It was. Did you like any of the commercials?
Not really.
Me neither.
They were the most expensive they had ever been, and I thought they were just terrible.
The Doritos.
Well, not terrible, but
The Doritos commercial got a lot of praise.
Yeah, but-
yeah, I really didn't see anything spectacular. What about the
I
half?
was disappointed in Budweiser and the Budweiser horses. And
Oh yeah, you didn't like that. Well, what did you
I
think?
was disappointed. I always love them because I think they're beautiful.
What did you think of the halftime show?
Well, I like the
I have to just go on record in saying that you were wrong about Rihanna performing at the Super Bowl. Like, where did you hear that? You said Rihanna was performing, and I said,
I didn't say Rihanna.
yes.
No, I didn't.
I'm gonna have to go back and play it.
I don't remember saying
Rihanna,
Rihanna.
and I said no, it was Beyonce, and you were like, no, it's Rihanna. But anyway, I think you just had them confused. But Nellie, I just wanted to say something, and I wrote it down, and I remember writing this down. And I have referees written down. Referees.
Okay.
Because I think referees is the most underrated job in America.
Okay.
You know why I think that? Because do you understand how important their decisions are during games? Professional referees.
I
that
know
do these
how.
NFL games and who do these basketball games.
Yeah,
People
I know
bet
it.
millions of dollars on these games. upon these
But
referees'
Adam, don't
decisions.
you think all these ball players and stuff get paid enough?
These referees, they get death threats. These referees, they get bargained. They get bribed. They get cursed out.
I know they do.
They have so
But I don't
much
have no pity
that would happen.
for 'em.
What I would like to do one day, I would like to make a documentary about professional referees, about the stuff that they have to go through. Like, you know,
Well, they're just with your ideal.
well, I mean, I would like to do it. I patent it right now on the air. That's my idea. Adam Banks. You cannot steal it. That's the most underrated job. Now, referees, these little high school referees, grade school referees,
I'm
even
not
though
talking about
it's
them.
respectable what they do, but the big boys are the professional referees. Those are the ones that have really important
I
jobs.
know.
Do you think they make good money?
I have no idea.
They probably do. I would say they do. The O.J. Simpson show. Have you been watching this?
Yes.
What do you think of it? It's been bringing up a lot of
It's weird, but it's not
Past
weird.
history.
It's just so sad, but it's a horrible, sad. The whole situation is sad,
yeah.
and I feel so bad for Nicole's family
Yeah.
and her kids, and just the whole thing.
Well, the show's incredible. Like, I think the acting's great. Marsha, the girl who played the lawyer,
Clark,
the prosecutor,
Marsha
Clark, the prosecuting attorney during the O.J. trial. I think I fell in love with her character. I like it a lot. I wish that they had a better outcome because O.J.'s guilty.
But he needs to rot in there.
Yeah, but he is. He's in jail now. He is. But it's a good show. I want to keep watching it.
I'm going to too, but I watched the original.
Yeah, I wanted to talk.
Different.
I wanted to talk really quick before we left. Really, this is a lot of stuff's been happening. Louisville Cardinals is banned from the NCAA basketball tournament this year. They can't go to the tournament. They have to sit out. I think that it's well deserved. I think that.
Oh, I do too.
I think that they are really punishing themselves because this team was a team that could have went. They were a Final Four caliber team. They could have went far. They could have been a national championship team. They could have. They had just as good a shot as anybody else. And the fact that they took themselves out of the tournament, that's big. That's really big. So, I have to say, I don't know how I feel about it. You know, my hatred for Louisville is starting to die down a little bit. I just feel like that they have reached the pinnacle that they are going to reach. I think that they'll get a good coach. I think that they'll be okay. I still think they'll be elite. But I don't think they're going to be as big as what they were during that really hot time that Rick Pitino had them, like from 2008 to 2014. They were pretty solid team. So, but Nellie 100-Episode.
Pretty awesome.
We just wrapped
Pretty
it up.
awesome.
100 episodes. You know, I hope to have you around for 100 more.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it's pretty great.
Think it's pretty great. Well, Nellie, thank you for doing it. It's been awesome. It's been awesome. I would like for you to respond. This is your turn. This is your moment to respond.
Oh, thank you. I agree with you. I'm so excited to be working with you and being here all this time.
Sound like you mean it.
I do.
And grabbing my butt. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you later
did
in
not.
episode 101.
Woo! Have a great weekend, people. Ooh. Ooh.